What's going on YouTube? I'm Taters, and you guys know me because I'm from TeamSlopyTaters. Me and the team have a tournament coming up on Saturday, and it's not really a really big tournament. It's going to be bigger than a locals though. It's a tournament to win a 4-day Gen Con pass. So I figured I'd give you guys the deck profile that I'm going to be running at the tournament. And then, hang on guys, I'm going to try and turn my TV down a bit. Okay. I'm going to give you guys the deck profile of the deck I'm going to be using at the tournament. And whenever I get back from the tournament, I'll give you guys another deck profile of what I would have changed with the deck. Well, I'll go through and change the deck, and then I'll give you a deck profile. So I'm going to show you the deck and the extra deck. Hell yeah, you guys know I have a Zatchbell spellbook as my extra deck holder. You guys like it. So as you guys can tell, I'm going to be running heroes for the tournament, but not just regular heroes. I'm going to be running masked heroes. That's right, guys. I'm going to be running masked heroes, but not only am I running masked heroes, there's another catch. This is anti-meta masked heroes. Kind of. It's kind of anti-meta masked heroes with some of the tech cards I'm using. So, yeah, let's get into the deck profile. Alright guys, so to start off the deck, we're going to be running the 1 Stratos. Obviously, it's a hero deck, and if you're not running Stratos in your hero deck, you're half retarded. That's just about it. Now, unlike most masked hero builds, I did choose to run, 3 Elements of Hero Neos Alias. My other 2 secrets are coming in the mail, that makes me happy. But I chose to run 3 Alias just because in this format you really kind of need a 1900 beat stick to survive. If you can normal summon a 1900 monster, you'll at least survive in the format. So I feel like the 3 Alias was a really good choice. Next, I'm going to show you the water targets that I have for Mass Change, and that would be Bubble Man, Ocean, and Ice Edge. Ice Edge being my favorite target for Mass Change in the water, just because there's a lot of tricks you can do with Mass Change and Ice Edge to make your whatever you summon out with Mass Change invincible. And if you guys want, if this video gets 3 likes before I go to the tournament, well, even after the tournament, when the video gets 5 likes, I will what was I about to say? Oh yeah, I'll go through and I will do an explanation video and combo video for the deck, because the deck has a lot of really good combos. Masked heroes have a lot of untapped potential that I think people just don't see. Next, I'm going to show you the one main decked Earth target for Mass Change, and that's 1 Elements of Hero Wildheart. I only opted to play 1 because he's really not the best target for Mass Change, mostly because him and Mass Change work to do 2 different things. He is unaffected by traps, but that does not mean that it's going to bait out your opponent's back row. It doesn't mean that at all. It means they're just going to save up their traps while you have them on the field. And then when you Mass Change into die-in with him, then they just have a bunch of saved up traps to use on the die-in. So that's why I only choose to run him. My main Earth target is actually in the extra deck, and I'll get to that later. Now comes the somewhat anti-meta part of the deck that I told you guys. I main deck 2 DD Warrior Lady. This helps my Chaos Dragon and my Chaos Dragon matchup, as well as my Dino Rabbit matchup. Because DD Warrior alone, if they don't have back row to really fight against their DD Warrior Lady, then they'll have to waste a Logia Negate. They'll either have to waste a Logia Negate or a back row to get rid of DD Warrior Lady. And this gets rid of really powerhouse monsters like Light Pulsar. This fights Light Pulsar hardcore. Next, I'm running 1 Legendary Jujutsu Master, mainly because he can stun my opponent for a turn, maybe if I use him correctly. If you do use him correctly, he's a great card. And mostly because he's a level 3 Earth monster. So that's really good. Actually, not so much for the level 3. Mostly for the Earth attribute, the 1800 defense, and the effect. So yeah. Next up, we are running 2 main decked effect failures. I opted to play 2. I was maining one and siding one, but I decided just to main the 2 because I feel like effect failure is just a dead side card, in my opinion. I'd rather main deck 2 and side them out in bad matchups than just not have them. Moving on to the spells, we'll start off with our search power. I main deck, well, I only run 2-potted duality. I was running 3-potted duality, but I dropped it down to 2 so I could run 3 e-calls over it. I was running 3 dualities and 2 e-calls, but I opted to do 2 dualities and 3 e-calls just because I feel like this makes the deck run faster. And the drawback of duality really counteracts to the playstyle of this deck. This is a really fast-paced deck. Doesn't require much setup. It just, you want to get to your pieces fast enough, like you want to draw into your mass changes and then search your heroes. And then on top of that, we're running the 1 Rhoda. Next, for the hero-oriented non-searching spells, we have 3 Miracle Fusion. I opted to run the 3 Miracle Fusion instead of 2 because it just it makes for better mass change plays as well as it lets the deck move faster. Then we play 2 Mass Change. Really great card. You can beat a lot of decks with this card alone, and a lot of the shenanigans you can do with this deck. And then we're main decking 1 Super Poly and siding the other. 1 main deck Super Poly is still good because you can. It's good to have it main deck and just side it out in your bad matchups. Next, for the other spells, other quick play spells, we are running Forbidden Lance. Great card. I would only like it at 1 though. I would rather not have 2 in here just because it clogs a lot. Yes, Forbidden Lance does clog in this deck. How bad is that? And then we're running 1 Book of Moon, 2 MSTs, and for our power cards, we're running 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Monster Reborn, and my all-time favorite tech card in the deck, which is Heat Wave. Heat Wave is amazing. I go into my... Okay, here's what I'll do. This card works great with Stratos, Ocean, Ice Edge. And this card works great with everything. This card sets up for Stratos plays, helps get Ocean's effect off, F's Chaos Dragons. This card alone can completely kill Chaos Dragons. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't even know how much to say about this card. This card's just amazing, this format. I don't get why more people don't use it. I personally love it. Moving on to the traps, we have our 1 Solemn Judgment and 2 Warnings, 2 Torrentials. I opted to main deck the 2 Torrentials, but these do get sided out quite a lot for faster things in the side deck. And then probably my second favorite tech card in the deck, which is 2 Threatening Roar. I main deck 2 Threatening Roar to help any matchup. Also, this card is really helpful with Ocean. Ocean is a lot more useful in this deck, I feel like, with all the tech and stuff I main deck. So, Threatening Roar really, really helps, especially against Chaos Dragons, because they move really quickly, much quicker than this deck can, and this deck moves pretty quick. So that's why I opted to play the Threatening Roar. Now we will get into the extra deck. Alright, for the extra deck, the fusions we decided to run are the 2 Elemental Hero Shinings, 2 Elemental Hero Absolute Zeros, 1 Nova Master, 1 Great Tornado, and 1 Gaia for the Omni Heroes. Gaia is the mass change target I was talking about for Diane. This is probably your primary target if you want to go into Diane, just because him and Diane combo extremely well. He can make the summon of your Diane invincible, and also he can help clear the way for Diane. What you want to do is you want to Miracle Fusion into Elemental Hero Gaia, and if you want to make your Diane invincible, you'll target one of their monsters for his effect, then chain Mass Change. So with the way Change resolves, Mass Change will send Gaia to the graveyard to get your Diane, and then Gaia will resolve and have that monster's attack, therefore making the summon of your Diane impervious to bottomless trap holes and torrentials. Because for bottomless and torrential to work, they have to be chained to the summon of the monster. But since you cannot interrupt a resolving chain, then Gaia resolves last, making the summon of Diane not the last thing to happen on the chain, so you cannot use bottomless and torrential on it. The other way he combos well with Diane is what you'll do is you'll Miracle Fusion in the Gaia, have their opponent's monsters attack. If they have more than one monster on board, they have like say 2 monsters on board, you'll have one of their monsters attacks, and then attack over their other monster that you did not have with Gaia. And then you'll Mass Change into Diane, attack over the one you have, get your plus, and attack directly. So that's how this card really combos well with Diane. Next, for the Master Heroes, we're running 1 Acid, 1 Vapor, and 1 Diane. Vapor is a lot more useful than people give him credit for. This guy against Chaos Dragons is amazing, because their first turn setup, if they don't draw Miracle Fusion, if they don't draw Future Fusion, is usually set Raikou or summon Lila and go. They set the Raikou and say you summon a Bubble Man and Mass Change into this, their Raikou's gone. They still get the mill, but they don't get the plus. So Vapor's really good. This guy against, regular Light Sworns is just the shit. They can't do anything. Me playing Sloppy, I will go into this guy all the time. Because Celestia can't get over it because it can't even destroy it. Raikou can't destroy it. And then Judgment Dragon can't destroy it. So I still have a monster on the field and I don't take 3,000 to the face. And then Diane's just amazing for those pluses. And 28 attack is ridiculous. So yeah, moving on, we have our 1 Draco quest for a Super Poly target. Get some of those powerful synchros like Scrap Dragon and such off the field. And then we run a Utopia, a Maestroke, a Gemini Pearl, and a Photon Butterfly Assassin. Photon Butterfly Assassin is amazing. It's so good, this format. It's so good. This guy is also great. You get this guy out against Sams and they lose. They lose if they can't get him off the field. Maestroke's too good. Utopia, I think it's meh, but it's a good card to go into when you have nothing else. I just think Utopia is a really meh card. And then we have my Spore and my Token. Alright, so I was debating on whether or not to show you guys my side deck, but I think I'm going to. So let's get right into it. We side deck 2 Thunder King Ryos. This guy goes against, if a player is running traditional Dino Rabbit, then this guy will probably go in. Against heroes, this guy will go in. This guy is running is for when they're running traditional Dino Rabbits, not Macro Rabbits. When they're running Macro Rabbits, I side in the Fossil Dinos. Fossil Dino is just a better card against Macro Rabbits. And then I side the Snowman Eater for the Rabbit matchup as well. And also the Fossil Dinos go in against anti-meta and rogue decks, like Dragoonides and stuff like that. And Snowman Eater usually goes in against Rabbit. I do side Stealth Bird for Final Countdown matchup, as well as Psyblocker for just rogue matchups and anything I feel like I need Psyblocker for. I just really like the card, so I figured I'd side it. Now for the last monster I'm siding 1 Cyber Dragon. I do not have the Chimera Tech Fortress. Actually, Noodles has that. But I still sided Cyber Dragon for like anti-meta, as well as Gemini heroes and stuff like that. anything that can match my 1900 beaters, I will side Cyber Dragon in. Because Cyber Dragon is a good card just to get over their 1900 beaters. For the traps I side 2 skill drains against in the Inzektor matchup. I would side Shadow Mirrors if I had them, but I don't, so I side the skill drains. I side Light Mirrors for Chaos Dragons, Light Sworns, and the such. Just a really good side deck stable. And then I do side 1 Chain Disappearance for stuff like Inzektors. And if they're running, if I notice their rabbit build is rather slower than others, like if it's not as well built as others, then I'll probably side the Chain Disc against them. And Chain Disc is just a good card. Next, for the spells, I'm running 1 Leeching the Light for Chaos Dragons and Light Sworns. I know I keep saying Light Sworns and they're not really that prevalent in the meta, but Sloppy runs them, so I do take Light Sworns into considerations. Siding for Light Sworns is a lot like siding for Chaos Dragons. Leeching the Light, if you guys don't know what it does, I'll read it to you real quick. It says, select 1 face-up light monster your opponent controls. All face-up attack position monsters you control gain attack equal to the attack of the selected monster until the end phase. Which means you target 1 light monster they control, and all monsters you control gain the same amount of attack as that monster. So you target their light pulsar, and every monster on my field gains 2500 attack. Great card for ending game. And then I side the other Super Poly for hero matchup and synchros. Super Poly is just an amazing card, and siding the second one really helps. Alright guys, that's the deck. I hope you liked it. I'll give you a report when I'm back from the tournament, and let you guys know how I did, and let you guys know some changes I'll make to the deck. Remember guys, 5 likes and I'll make an explanation video for the entire deck. Show you guys some really unique combos that only this deck can do. The real power in this deck comes from the heavy amount of quick plays you can run. You run the Lances, the Mass Changes, the Super Polys, Books, Typhos, everything. The whole shebang. So that's really where the power in this deck comes from. Let me know how you guys think the deck is, and any changes you think I should make. And yeah, as for that, I'm Taters from TeamSlopyTaters, and I'm out, guys. See ya.